Hello, everyone out there in Rumble X and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And today we're going to talk some more about Babygirl. Okay, this piece of trash movie that came out last year that tries to glamorize infidelity from the wife's point of view, not the guy's point, not the husband's point of view, because that's not allowed. From a wife's point of view. Okay, of course. Lots of TV shows are based on this, lots of movies, Netflix streaming shows, this crap. Okay, I have seen some good movies where the wife is cheating on the husband. There's a few good ones out there. Okay, but most of them, not so much. Okay, and you don't even see movies where the main character, the man, is cheating on his wife and trying to cover it up, and all the problems that comes with that. You never see that. Okay, Hollywood won't make that movie because that's misogyny. Okay, that's the patriarchy. Okay, that's male oppression. Okay, that is glamorizing abusing women. You see what I mean? Okay, but yet the Hollywood will crank out dozens and dozens of movies where the wife cheats on the husband and it's glamorized. It's actually considered good and progressive. Okay, and it's her right. Okay, and if her husband ain't satisfying her, then she has every right to go outside the marriage. That's not her fault. It's her husband's fault for not pleasing his woman. That kind of thing. But yeah, you can never make the argument the other way around. Okay, if a guy cheats on his wife because, she's put on 30 pounds since they got married, she won't even give him a blowjob anymore. So he goes out and he finds a hot young woman that wants to have sex with him. If he does it, then he's the jerk. Okay, he's the piece of crap. Okay, for doing that to his poor wife. You see what I mean? So it's like, it's always one-sided on these things. There's nothing progressive about anything that's only one-sided. Okay? That's something you need to figure out. It's Hollywood. There's nothing progressive about something that's only one-sided. If you want to be progressive, it must apply to everybody. Okay? Not just who you want it to apply to. Okay? There's nothing fair about that. All right? If you're going to glamorize women cheating on their husbands, okay? You can't do that without glamorizing men cheating on their wives, and you're not going to do that because that sends the wrong message. God forbid a man decides he wants to do that. Oh, God forbid a guy right now sitting next to his wife, thinking about, how he's been missing out because his wife doesn't please him anymore. She looks like crap now. Yet the girls that he sees at the gym, they give him the fuck me eyes that look a lot better than her. What the hell? My wife ain't cutting it for me. Like, it's not my fault that my wife doesn't want to do anything to please me. I deserve my pleasure too, don't I? Don't I? You see what I mean? So it's like it can't be one-sided. Okay, it's either all or none. All right, and that's the problem with Hollywood. It's very hypocritical. It points to one thing, okay, but it doesn't even acknowledge the exact opposite of that thing. Okay. And that's typical Hollywood. This is a woke movie, of course it is. Okay, everyone involved in this is woke. The woman that created this movie, okay, I forgot her name. I'm not even going to say it anymore. Okay, she's a Dutch woman, unattractive. She's a failed actress. Okay, so this is her way of getting revenge on the director that fired her from whatever off-Broadway show she was trying to do, or whatever TV show she tried to do. Okay, and I know she tried to do the Dutch version of Nurse Jackie with Edie Falco. Okay, she starred in the Dutch version of that. Of course, it bombed because she's not Edie Falco. Okay, she's just a man-hating lesbian. Okay, unattractive, so she failed as an actress. So she got behind the camera instead of in front of the camera. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of directors that fired her, or wouldn't hire her at all. And so this is her revenge. Okay, if you notice the man that's getting cheated on, okay, the husband that's getting cucked in this movie is, guess what? He's a theater director. Ooh, what a burn that is, huh? I wonder if there's a little message in there, huh? About, theater directors can't satisfy their wives. Okay, that's why their wives cheat on them. Okay, and that's why they hire magnificently talented, that they don't hire magnificently talented women. Okay, that kind of thing. They're too busy dealing with the fact that their wives are cheating on them. You see what I mean? Okay, yeah. There's plenty of that in this movie. Okay, of course it's a man-hating movie. Of course it is. Of course it is. All right, and Nicole Kidman's right in the middle of it. Now, I give props to Nicole Kidman. She tried to get in shape for this movie. This movie has a lot of nude scenes with her in it. Okay, and a lot of actresses are very self-conscious. And I mean, Nicole Kidman's 57 years old when she made this movie. Okay, of course, a lot of women that age are very self-conscious. They're not going to do a movie where they're shown in a bikini or something like that. But she does it. She goes full Monty in this movie. Okay. And I get it. I mean, she's had a boob job. That's clearly obvious. Okay. She probably took Ozempic, okay, to get leaned out. But unfortunately, Ozempic doesn't do anything for your muscle tone. Okay. So she's got no ass and she's got no legs. And I'm going to call it, it's a straight man's point of view. That's what it says right there. Straight man's point of view, right? Okay, ladies, I'm not some freaking gay guy who's going to tell you how fabulous her nails are. Okay. I'm not some fucking chick that's going to tell you how fucking gorgeous she is at her age. Okay. Get the fuck out of here. I'm going to tell you what a straight guy thinks. Okay, that's what you signed up for when you decided to watch this video. And that's what I'm going to tell you, okay? And Nicole Kidman, 57 years old, pretending to be a 49-year-old, okay? She looks like crap. Now, she doesn't look totally bad, okay? During certain angles, I would have sex with her, okay? It's just the close-ups. The close-ups, when you know, because all that Botox in her face, she can't emote like a normal human being. The lighting that they use, when they use outdoor lighting on her, it looks like crap. When she's standing underneath the light, okay, she looks like crap. Now, if it's filtered out with some orangey or yellowy filter, okay, she looks halfway decent, okay, when it's a little bit darker, okay? But when it's bright lights right in her face, she looks like crap. She looks like a woman with too much fucking Botox in her face. Okay, and that reminds me that I'm not watching Romy Mathis, the CEO of some bullshit tech company, multi-billionaire, super successful, boss bitch. It tells me that I'm watching Nicole Kidman and she's having a 3/4 of a life crisis. Okay, where she wants to be the leading woman. She wants to still be sexy. She wants to be attractive. She wants to be the guy, the woman, okay, that 19-year-old boys jerked off to back in the 90s. She wants to stay that way. And she can't. Okay, so she's in denial. She's trying to freaking like hold on to that. Okay, but that train is past. It's gone. You know, and clearly this is her way of coping with the fact that she's not, you know, a young, leading lady anymore. I mean, she's still a leading lady, but she's not young and pretty anymore, okay? And no guy, no actor with any sort of clout or anything, with any sort of draw, okay, right now, okay, or who's hot right now, you know, like a Glenn Powell or something, or whoever the hell else Hollywood decided was the next leading man, they're not going to be in a movie with her. Because that's going to hurt their image. Okay, this is a woman who doesn't want to accept the fact that she got old. Okay, and she's trying to hide it. And the more she tries to hide it, okay, the worse she looks. Okay, and I think that's the part that nobody in this movie really seems to understand. Okay, what the hell is a 57-year-old woman doing, getting naked in an erotic thriller? Okay, an erotic thriller. That's the kind of thing you do in your 30s, okay, or your 20s. You know. Not in your late 50s. That's no. Okay? But she did it. Okay? And it's no statement. There was no fawning over her. Oh my gosh, she's still sexy at 50. No, there was none of that shit. You probably never even heard of this movie. I'm sure you saw a trailer or something on social media, but you know, you didn't go to see this movie. And I know you didn't. Okay? Because I look at the views, okay? And then the people that do message me, they tell me, what the hell are you doing reviewing this movie for? It's a piece of shit. These are women telling me this. I just had a conversation yesterday. You know, I talked to my friend, and she asked me, what movie are you reviewing now? I told her I'm reviewing Babygirl. She started laughing. Like, oh my God, why are you reviewing that piece of shit? You know, I was like, well, what the hell? Why not? You know, like, even women hated this movie. This did no favors for Nicole Kidman's career. This did no favors for women's self-esteem out there, okay? Okay, it just looks desperate. It looks pathetic. It'd be like right now, what's Sylvester Stallone? He's like 79. Can you imagine if Sylvester Stallone said, hey, next year, Rocky 7. Can you imagine? No, dude, you're too old for that, man. Come on. Okay, that was young you. Okay, you're not young anymore. It's time to put the gloves up. Okay, you gotta start acting your age now. Okay, because this is just desperate and pathetic. It's like It's like the guy who's like, you know, like in his 30s and he's trying to act like a teenager. You see what I mean? It's that kind of level of patheticness, okay? And that's what this movie brings. That's the biggest thing I saw in this movie was that Nicole Kidman is completely unaware of that she's not that woman anymore, okay? You know, there was a movie she was in back in the 90s. It was called Malice, okay? And that was a pretty good movie. That was with Alec Baldwin, okay, and Bill Pullman. Okay, and in that movie, she was married to Bill Pullman. He was like a professor or something, and she was married to him, you know, and they're in love and everything. And then all of a sudden, they get a house guest who is a lawyer. Oh no, a doctor, Alec Baldwin's character. Okay, and he's kind of shady. He likes to fuck girls, you know, and stuff, and you know, in his room, you know, and they hear him fucking upstairs, you know, and then he gets drunk and performs a surgery on Nicole Kidman's character, the wife. Okay. And he ends up getting sued because he was drunk at the time before the surgery, and now she can't have children anymore, whatever. Okay, so there's a huge lawsuit now. Okay, and then Nicole Kidman blames Bill Pullman. Why did you let him cut into me when you knew that he had been drinking? And so she leaves her husband, and he's all oh, sweetheart, I didn't mean. I was just trying to save your life. So Bill Pullman's all suicidal and upset. Now his wife left him. And then he figures out that this was just a scam. Okay, it was a scam to get some money. She realizes that the doctor is corrupt. Okay, that Alec Baldwin he had himself sued so that he could collect the money. Okay, and so he follows the doctor to find out who his accomplice was. Turns out his accomplice was his wife. Yes, Nicole Kidman was this evil two-timing bitch. She had been fucking Alec Baldwin the entire time. They came up with a plot, okay, to screw over him and collect all this money in a fake lawsuit. Okay, you see what I mean? Okay, anyway, she gets her just desserts at the end, you know, whatever. Okay, but I mean, she was good in that. Okay, that was kind of an erotic thriller as well. Okay, because there was sex scenes with her and Alec Baldwin and stuff. Okay, so she used to be able to pull this off. Okay, and then To Die For, that's another movie from the 90s that she did. Okay, where she was getting people to you know, she was seducing young men to kill her husband and shit. Okay, and she looked good in that. She looked good. I remember that song, Dirty Laundry. Yeah, like that. Okay, so she had her time in the spotlight to do this kind of stuff, but she's too old now. It's just pathetic. It's just pathetic, you know. And you know, and it's been coming for a while. She did a movie a few years ago where she played Lucille Ball. Okay, and I reviewed that movie. It's on this channel. Okay, and Javier Bardem, who looks nothing like Desi Arnaz, played Desi Arnaz. Okay, and I think I gave it a passing grade or something, but it threw me out of the movie. Nicole Kidman, you know, Lucille Ball, when she did I Love Lucy, she was in her late 30s and 40s. Okay, but she was pretending to be in her early 30s. Okay, Nicole Kidman was in her early 50s, pretending to be Lucille Ball, you know, who was in her 40s, pretending to be, you know, a woman in her 30s, you know, so it's ridiculous. And she was too skinny to be Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball was a little chunky. She was, okay? At least at that point in her career she was. When she was younger, she was, okay? And Lucille Ball did not have Botox, okay, where Nicole Kidman clearly does. It was so obvious. So she couldn't emote like Lucille Ball. She couldn't be funny like Lucille Ball. She couldn't make the faces like Lucille Ball. Like, she couldn't do that because her face is full of fucking Botox. Okay, so yeah, so that to me was just like, what are you doing, Nicole Kidman? I mean, I know you're trying to get an Oscar and stuff, you know, but like, you know, you're not Lucy. You don't have her comedic energy. You don't have her timing. You don't have her looks, you know. And to me, it was just sad. It was just sad. I think she doesn't realize what she's doing in her career. She's going to continue to do this stuff. I guarantee you, if anybody criticizes her work, she's just going to say it's misogyny, despite the fact that it's these fucking misandrous lesbians that are running Hollywood, that are controlling these movies. Okay, straight men have nothing to do with this shit. Okay, but yeah, we're going to get blamed. Okay, for when these movies fail. When they make no money, okay, we're going to get blamed. When they underperform, we're going to get blamed for it, despite the fact that we had nothing to do with it. You know, but that's Hollywood for you. All right, here, real quickly, I want to get this up here. Diego knows it knows Diego. That is my ex. Okay, so all these videos are going on X as well. Okay, that's my ex, and then Diego de la Vega knows right here. Okay, that is my Rumble. Okay, that's my Rumble. All these videos are going on Rumble as well. Just so you know, Okay, and here's the weird thing. I know nobody's watching these videos on YouTube. Okay, but I looked at my Rumble, and people are watching these videos on Rumble. Like, a lot more people are watching these videos on Rumble than they are on YouTube or X. Go figure. I wonder why that is. I wonder why. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I do this for fun. I'm not trying to make money off here or nothing, The fact is, you listen to me is just flattering enough. I hit 1,000 subscribers, so I'm kind of proud of myself for that. I know it's nothing, but, this is just a hobby that I do. I like getting my voice out there, especially when it comes to these movies, because I think these movies have done a lot of cultural damage. Okay, they fed women a lie. Okay, and I'm here to tell you, as a man with experience with this stuff, okay, that there's a reason that real life doesn't match up to this shit. Okay, and I think that women have a tendency to believe this shit a lot more than men do. When we watch a guy movie, when I watch Rambo or something, I know damn well that's not going to happen to me in real life. I'm not expecting that to happen to me in real life. Okay, because real life is not like an action movie. Real life is not like a superhero movie. Okay, I watch Avengers. I know damn well that's not going to happen to me. Okay? So I can just enjoy the movie knowing that it's completely fake. But so when you women watch stuff like this, you think it's going to happen to you. You're hoping it'll happen to you. It's not aliens invading, right? It's just an old woman and a young hot guy that works for her. That's possible. You see what I mean? And it's, that's because there's nothing in here. There's no testosterone in here. Okay? There's nothing in here that says like that counters what you want to happen. Okay? That makes it plausible. That makes it believable. Okay? What would a guy do? I already told you what I think Samuel would do if this was a real life situation. He would be using her in order to get ahead in the company. That's the reason to do it. Okay? And if I was Samuel at his age, I wouldn't try this. And the reason I wouldn't try is because I'd get fired right away. Right away. Okay? The audaciousness, okay? The non-professionalism. This is ridiculous. Okay? This would never happen in real life. Okay? Okay? Where this would happen realistically is like, say, in a school. Okay? Where you've got like some 20-something, 30-something-year-old teacher. Okay? And she seduces her 12-year-old, 11-year-old, 13-year-old student. Okay? Because that happens every day in real life, and you don't see movies about that. Despite the fact that that's a much bigger crisis, okay, in America than any of this crap that some CEO screwing at her 25-year-old intern. No, in real life, it's a lot worse, okay? And despite the fact that these women go to jail, okay, and they get lesser sentences than men do for committing the exact same crime, okay, there is no public outcry against it. There is no movement to stop this from happening. You see what I mean? Because the media doesn't want to go there. They don't want to portray women as bad. They want to portray men as bad because you got to keep the whole feminist thing going. And the only way to keep that going is you got to keep showing how men are shit and how women are great. Okay, you can't show women doing anything wrong. Okay, you can't show women, fucking up royally out of their own stupidity. Despite the fact that happens in real life, you can't show that in a movie because that makes women look bad, and you can only make men look bad. Okay, and that's not just in these chick flicks, that's in everything. That's all the TV shows, that's all the movies. Okay, very few movies ever really portray things the way they would happen more realistically. You see what I mean? Like something like, say, like a Top Gun. Okay, that movie did well because there was no wokeness in it. Okay, they weren't trying to make women look all good, and they weren't trying to make men look all bad. Okay, you see what I mean? There was a balance there, which was more realistic to real life. Okay, and if you can do that, if you can do the verisimilitude and make everything look believable right from the beginning, you're more likely to believe what happens next. Okay, unfortunately, this movie shows us Nicole Kidman as the CEO. Okay, this boss bitch who built the company with her own hands, graduated top of her class at Yale. She's a billionaire now who owns her own tech company. Okay, and she's too fucking stupid to realize that this guy is using her, is going to take away her family, her marriage, her company. She's going to lose everything over this. Her reputation, because this is going to go to the press. The media is going to find out about this. Okay, her stock market is going to drop. She's going to be ousted as CEO of her own company. She's going to get kicked out of her own company. Okay, just like they did to fucking, what's his name? You know what I'm talking about. Why can't I think of his name right now? The guy, Apple. Okay, Steve Jobs, just like they did to Steve Jobs. Okay, all this is going to happen to her because she's too stupid to realize what she's done. Okay, and even if she didn't know that, even if she didn't realize that, or she would lose her company, she knows it's not good to cheat on your fucking husband. She at least knows that. You see? So how am I supposed to feel sorry for her? How am I supposed to, relate to her? How am I supposed to want her to overcome whatever obstacles are going to come in front of her in this movie? She's not a likable person. She's too stupid, okay? And she's too much of a bitch. And that's it right there. She's a fucking bitch, okay? And she's trying to act like she's the victim here. All the worried looks on her face, and get the fuck out of here. You did this to yourself. You fucking did this to yourself. What the fuck do I care what happens to you? You fucking did this to yourself. Holy shit. If a guy cheats on his wife in one of these movies, oh my God, he totally gets what he's got coming at the end. His wife is going to leave him. She's going to divorce rape him. She's going to take the house. She's going to bankrupt him. She's going to take child support. And she's going to be fucking other guys right in front of them. Okay? That's what's going to happen to him if he cheats on the woman in a movie. But when a woman does it, holy shit. The guy gets a lecture about how you need to understand that her needs were not being met. You were not satisfying her needs. Okay, therefore she had no choice but to go outside of the relationship because you weren't performing your duties. You should have been more sensitive to her feelings. You should have been more attentive to her needs, but you were not doing that. So who's to blame here? What other option did she have? You see what I mean? That's what we're talking about here. And that's the fucking narrative that they keep going with, okay? All I can say is thank God I'm not fucking married. Someone said once, yes, that a smart man learns from his mistakes, and that is true. A smart man does learn from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Okay, keep that in mind. All right, let's move right along. Now, this is a very important scene here in the movie. Okay, now Samuel surprised Romy by showing up at her house in the country on the weekend. Okay, when she's not at work. Okay, she has a country house. Okay, and he showed up there unexpected, and he had brunch or something with her family. Now, of course, her husband Jacob has no idea that this young stud is the guy that's been plowing his wife. He has no idea of this, and of course, Romy's not going to admit to it right now. Okay, but anyway, Jacob allows him to go outside and roll around in the hay with his daughters. Okay, of course, he accepts. Okay. Now, he used this whole premise of that he had to bring her her laptop from work because they needed that information at the office. Okay, so that's his excuse for taking a train and leaving New York and coming out to the country to see her at her house. Okay, well, she opts to drive him back to the train station. So, of course, once they get to the train station, they have a one-on-one conversation here. Okay, and she says, like, do not ever, and she's upset. Okay. She's upset because he was out there playing with her family. He was out there watching her husband and her daughters roll around in the leaves and shit. And he's like, oh, God, this is awesome. And then he tells her, hey, your family is so nice. I love the way, you are with your kids, and your husband. And I want that for myself someday. And I'm thinking, what, you want to fucking marry some fucking over-the-hill bitch who's going to fuck around on you? Okay? Like that's what you want someday in your life? Anyway. Well, Romy tells him at the train station, she tells him, because they're alone now in her car. And she tells him, don't ever show up at my house like that again. Okay? My family means everything to me. No, I think that ship sailed, you dumb fucking bitch. If your family meant everything to you, you wouldn't have been fucking this guy. Okay? You were sure as fuck. If you wanted to fuck a guy, you could have done that. It did not have to be one of your goddamn fucking employees. It did not have to be one of your goddamn interns. Okay? You could have been fucking a guy that has nothing to do with your company. Okay, therefore you get your sexual needs met, okay, and you don't risk losing the fucking fortune that you've amassed. You spent your whole fucking life working for, okay? So no, your family doesn't mean shit to you, okay? You wouldn't have fucked around on your husband, okay, if your family meant the world to you, okay? No, don't pull that shit, all right? And he says, like, I was just doing my job. I don't like the way you talk to me, okay? Unlock the car. Let me out. I want to get out. Like that, all right? And she's like, no, wait. Listen to me. We just have to calm down and talk, okay? Because she's so fucking gaslit by this guy. She will do, whenever she even yells at him, she immediately takes him out. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I don't want you to leave. No, I'll do whatever you want. Okay, she's very submissive to this kid. Okay, now remember, she's 57, he's 25. Okay, and she's extremely submissive to this guy. Okay, if he gets mad, she automatically, oh, no, what can I do? Okay, now this is the way that she does not treat her husband this way at all. No, she ignores her husband. She treats him like shit. Okay, she tells him he doesn't fucking matter. He's irrelevant. Okay, she won't even dance with him at the fucking company party. Okay, she keeps secrets from him. Okay, but with this guy, she's all over him. Okay, all fucking over him. Whatever you want, I'll do it for you. Okay? Now, you know, she tells him, oh, wait, okay, let's just calm down and talk. Okay, you just surprised me, okay? Okay, it's just that we can't see each other outside of work. Okay? And Sam's like, don't touch me. Listen, okay, I don't want a girlfriend, okay? So that's what you're thinking, okay? I don't want a girlfriend, okay? I mean, you look like a mom. All right, and I'm not interested in that, okay? Now, this is how you gaslight a woman, okay? So now he's attacking her looks, okay? Now he's attacking her looks to make her feel self-conscious, to make her feel that she's not good enough for him, instead of him not being good enough for her, okay? Despite the fact that she's a billionaireess, and he's a fucking lowly intern who has to work a second job bartending just to pay his bills, okay? He's got nothing on his goddamn resume. He has no fucking experience in the corporate world. This is it. This is the beginning of his corporate journey in life, his career. Okay? He comes from fucking white trash. I mean, so what the hell? This guy, she has everything above him, but yet she easily is believing that he's above her now. Why? Because he fingered her really well in a fucking cheap-ass hotel room? Is that all it takes? Okay? Because if it does, I'd be dating nothing but, I'd be dating fucking Jeff Bezos' wife right now. Okay? If that's all it fucking took. So what the fuck? All right, you know, so he's like, you know what, you know, you're like a mom. I'm not interested in that, you know. So this is the typical push and pull technique. She yells at him. He pushes her away. She pulls him back to him. He pushes her away. She pulls him back. Okay, typical fucking gaslighting. This is actually what you got to do. Now, there's some pickup artists out there. There's this guy named Mystery. Okay, he was this like notorious pickup artist like back in the 90s. I think that was his heyday or something like that. He wrote a book about it. I read some of the book, and this was his technique that he used. Okay, he starts off like, you know, trying to establish value, and once he's established value, then he takes away his attention so that the woman chases him now. So he doesn't have to pursue the woman. Okay, he doesn't have to earn her validation anymore. She has to earn his. Okay, that's the push and pull technique, and it does work. It does work. Okay, fuck all these goddamn movies. All right, because that shit's bullshit. The guy bringing the flowers, trying to win her over, that doesn't fucking work, okay? When a guy makes the first move like that, it doesn't fucking work, okay? A woman knows right away whether or not she's gonna fuck you or not, or whether or not you're in the category of fuckable or not, okay? Right away. You don't have to fucking, you know, there's no point in fucking approaching her to figure that out. The only time I would say that you should do that is if it's a numbers game. Okay, you're trying to get laid. Okay, there's probably 100 women in this party. Okay, by the time you've hit on maybe 30 of them, okay, you'll have at least gotten 5 numbers. Okay, and by then, out of one of those 5 is gonna fuck you. Okay, so go to work. Okay, that's when I would say just go. Okay, you know, because you're gonna get rejected a lot, but you know you're gonna get rejected a lot. You just keep going anyway. Okay, that does work. All right, but for the most part, if you don't want to do all that work and face all that rejection, okay, then you have to establish value right away. Okay, this is something Samuel can't really do. The only way he can establish value for her is by talking shit to her, by negging her, okay? By testing her out, by telling her what to do and see how she responds to that, okay? Because she's not used to people talking to her that way. And it turns out she actually responds to it very favorably towards him because people don't talk to her that way. People don't question her. You see what I mean? So he figured that out about her, okay? But do you really want to figure that out to a woman who's a billionaireess? Okay, because a woman who's a billionaire, her constitution would have to be so strong that she can see this right away. But for some reason, Romy can't see this, which means that I don't fucking believe that she's the fucking CEO of this tech company that she's built herself, because she's too fucking stupid not to realize that this guy is fucking negging her. Okay, and that's what really pisses me off. Okay, because this might work for a lower value woman, but if a woman is high value, then this shouldn't work on her. You see what I mean? Anyway. And if she really just wanted to get her rocks off because her husband wasn't doing it, if she really wants to be a cheating fucking bitch, she could easily have fucked a guy that did not work for her. You see what I mean? Anyway, moving right along. That's going on here, you know. So she's like, so Sam's like, look, I thought you were, I thought you were just I thought we were just like two children playing here, okay? And she's like, you're not a fucking child. He's like, whatever, let me out of the fucking car, okay? Unlock the car. She's like, no. He's like, unlock the fucking car. You're making me mad. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you making me feel like this? See, gaslighting all the fucking way. How the hell does she not realize this is what he's doing? Anyway, and what kind of fucking CEO is going to risk her marriage, her children, her company, her reputation for a fucking orgasm? What woman is going to fucking do that? None of this would have happened if she just talked to her husband. Hey, listen, you haven't really been getting me off, okay? This is what I like. This is what I like to do, okay? I want you to try that, okay? And if he loves you, he'll fucking do it, okay? He'll do it. You see what I mean? Now, she tried doing that earlier in the movie, okay? But she basically told him, I want you to rape me. I want you to choke me and rape me. And he didn't feel comfortable doing that. Well, then you need to talk about that. You need to talk about that instead of just blowing that off, okay? You need to fucking come out of the closet and tell your fucking husband, okay, that you like to be treated like a fucking whore. You like to be treated like a fucking whore. There's women that like that. I know. Okay? But at the same time, I want to tell you guys, okay? Yes, women, this does happen. I'm going to fucking tell you right now. Okay, sometimes women request things of men that they don't feel comfortable doing. Okay? And if that pisses off the woman, then fuck off. Then just fuck off, all right? There was a woman once, okay, who wanted me to choke her during sex, okay? So I did a little bit. She liked it. It got her off, right? I did it a little bit. But she kept telling me to do it harder. No, choke me harder, okay? And so I went a little bit more, but I'm fucking strong, okay? And she was telling me do it harder, like to the point where like I'm going to leave bruises now and she's not going to be able to breathe. And I fucking said, no, I'm not going to fucking do that. And then she got mad at me for not fucking doing that. And I told her, no, I don't feel comfortable choking you like for real. You see, not that hard. Okay, I could fucking kill you. All right, I'm not going to fucking do that. And she got fucking pissed off at me for not going there. And I told her, then get the fuck out. Okay, you're not going to fucking make me do something that I don't feel comfortable doing. I don't feel comfortable choking a woman almost to fucking death. That doesn't turn me on. Okay? So, fuck it, okay? You got to put your foot down as well. Okay? So all I'm saying is that, ladies, if you want men to respect your sexual boundaries, you got to be willing to respect ours as well. Okay? And a lot of you women out there are fucking freaks. You're fucking freaks, okay? It's not a one-sided thing. All right? And this woman's a fucking freak. Okay? So she needs to talk to her husband, tell her this is what I like. Okay? And if not, then fucking, you see a sex therapist or whatever, you buy some fucking toys, whatever the fuck you got to do. Role play. If he's still not comfortable doing that, okay, then, then it's time to fucking, maybe fucking take a separation or something, all right? If it's that fucking important to you, if your orgasms are that fucking important to you, then that's what you need to do, okay? But sneaking around behind your husband's back, that's never the best policy. Okay, and it's never the best policy for a man to do that either. Okay, it's never the best policy because all you're doing is ruining marriage, the idea of marriage. There's another one bites the dust. Okay, why the fuck would anyone want to get married if this is what they got to see in their future? Okay, people don't get married because they think that their husband, their spouse, or their wife or something is going to fuck around on them later on. That's not why people get married. They get married because they want to stay together forever. Okay, but that's just not the way it is in real life. Okay, divorce is too simple to have. No fault divorce. Okay, it's so funny. You don't have to prove anything. Just say, I don't want to be married anymore, and boom. You get all the husband's shit. The wife gets all the husband's shit. Okay, and as long as marriage laws are like that, people are not going to get married. See, boys, this generation of men have grown up. They've seen their moms cheating on their dads. They've seen, okay, their uncles and shit get divorced, raped. Okay, lose custody of their kids, lose the house that they bought for, that they paid for. Okay, they've seen all that, and they don't want that to happen to themselves. So they're just not doing it. And why would they? Any high-value man, okay, is going to get a lot of pussy thrown his way. So why the fuck would he want to fucking gamble everything he's got for one piece of ass when he's got so many options? You see what I mean? And the rest of the guys are average or below average. Okay? And it's a lot harder for those guys to get laid. Okay? It's only that small percentage of guys. They get the pussy thrown at them right away. And men know this. They know this. And no guy wants to be with an alpha widow. No guy wants to be with a woman who's been with a 10 and now she's settling for him. Because we've seen that happen as well, okay? They get resentful. They hate the fact that they're married to a guy that's not nowhere near the alpha Chad that she used to be with, and they're going to take it out on him. They're going to cheat on him, okay? Because they had to lower their standards, which I never should have had to do. He should have turned himself into a 10. I should have had to lower myself to be with him, despite the fact that her whole life she's been a fucking 6. You see what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. Anyway, moving right along. Okay, so that's going on here. He's gaslighting her. He knows he can make her come, okay, and that explodes her emotionally. Okay, it's true. He knows that he can get her off, and that explodes her emotionally. Okay, it would be difficult to get that with someone else, and she won't let that go. Also, the blackmailing. He mentions blackmailing her. Okay, he can always go to HR and tell her that she threatened his job if he didn't fuck her. Okay, they'll do an investigation. They'll find out that she has been meeting with him at hotels. He can prove it. Okay, they'll find out that he has been to her house. He can prove it. They'll find out all this kind of shit. They'll go through the text messages. They'll do everything. Okay, and they'll realize that yes, she has been sexually involved with this guy, and they will oust her as CEO. So she's afraid now. Okay, he's testing to see if he's got her hooked. Okay, that's why he's acting this way, to see if she's hooked or not. Okay, and he knows that he does have her hooked now. Okay, the fact that she's trying to be complacent to him. Oh, no, let's just talk about it. No, I'm not going to fire you. No, I'll never do that to you. That kind of thing. Now he knows he's got her. Okay? So he doesn't have to work that hard anymore. He's pushed his boundaries with her. She's capitulated to everything he's done. So now he's got her hook, line, and sinker. Okay? Now if she tries to leave him, he can always blackmail. He's blackmailing her, basically. He can always just go to the board or talk to someone in HR. Hey, listen, she's been sexually harassing me, and I was forced to do it, or else I'd lose my job. Oh my God, she forced me. Like that, Amber Heard stuff. Anyway, so Roman says, listen, okay, it's just confusing. Okay, whatever this is, it's just that you're very young, And he's like, no, I'm not. She said, no, it's just that I'm not, look, I'm not going to fire you, okay? But we have to keep this professional. I'm trying to take care of you here. He's like, no. So Romy gets mad and she opens up the door and he walks right out. He walks right the fuck out of there, okay? And he walks over to the train, okay? And Romy's just like, all like ashamed of herself or some shit. Like, what the fuck, okay? So the next scene that we have here, Romy, she likes to stare at herself in the fucking bathroom. Okay, she likes to look at her Botox fucking infested face. Okay, and then later on, Romy catches Samuel talking to one of her board members. Okay, so she walks in there into her office. Okay, and there's Samuel talking to a member of the board of directors. Okay. And so she's afraid now that maybe he squealed to him about their affair, so that's what she's worried about. The guy's name is Sebastian, by the way. Okay, and Romus is nervous about doing a Q&A. He wants to talk to her, the board member, Sebastian wants to talk to her about doing a Q&A for the board. Okay, and Sam sends her a text message while she's talking to Sebastian, so she excuses herself rudely. Oh, look, I just got a text, I gotta go. So I gotta take this, okay? And she walks out, all right? And the text orders her to go to the roof of the building, okay? I guess they like to have cigarettes up there and stuff. So Sam's up there smoking a cigarette on the roof of the building, okay? And he tells her that he doesn't feel comfortable working with her anymore, okay? So it's more gaslighting. I've decided since you disrespected me that I don't want to work with you anymore, okay? I don't want to work with you. In fact, I want to transfer to another department. I'm going to talk to somebody and tell them that this mentorship thing isn't working out. I don't like answering to you at work. I don't want to work in a different department so I don't have to deal with you and that kind of thing. Now, Romy's like, you can't do that. They'll ask questions. They'll investigate. I could get fired. No shit, you fucking stupid bitch. I thought you were supposed to be fucking smart. But you couldn't see this? You couldn't predict that this would happen? Romy has absolutely no good qualities here. There's no redeemable qualities here. There's no reason for me to feel sorry for her for the situation that she's fucking put herself in. She did all of this knowingly and maliciously. She's been nothing but a selfish fucking whore this entire fucking movie. Why the fuck should I give a shit about her if she has to face repercussions for what she's done? You know? She's a shitty wife. She's a shitty mother. She's a shitty CEO. And she's a shitty lover as well. And I hope she fucking goes to hell. And that's the truth. That's what I think about her, okay? And Sam tells her, it's for the best. And Wade's like, no, wait, no, shit. Okay, so now she's worried. Now she's worried, okay? Okay, so basically the blackmail is in full effect, okay? He's going to talk to someone in HR to try to get a transfer. They're going to want to know why. Okay, he's going to tell them, oh, well, I'm being sexually harassed by the CEO of the company. They might laugh at first, but then, you know, they have to do an investigation because he made it official. He complained. And they'll find out that maybe he hasn't been harassed by her, but she has been fucking him. Okay, which is just as bad. All right, you know, and so that's going on here, okay? All right, okay, I'm going to stop my review right here, but I'll be back soon to continue my review of this piece of shit. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I will see you soon on the next one. Bye.